I'm making this video on the 15th of January while I'm going through a major Mars transit, and everybody is. My generation being set off. I try to talk about it, but so I just don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do but to try to express myself here. It's probably just making me sick, but yeah. I'm having to do the hardest thing I've ever experienced in my life, and I just pray to God that the all the pain is intercepted by something else better than just thinking I lost and gave my best to something that didn't go anywhere for me, and it just makes me hungry for something that I never wanted. That I don't. It's not the answer, you know. Thinking that one person is the answer. Now, having said this, it is. It is the answer. They say, two or more gathering in my name, and you will know the power of the dream that you're in. And see, it's that way because even though you know alone, solitary, what reality is, if you can find just one more person to be there with it, with you, and work truths therein, and just be there for each other that way, just whatever it is. That's all that's needed to maintain the example, I guess, if anything, an example of that it's possible to live as the dream, be the dream, you know, and that is, of course, a good harmonious relationship, right? I just heard like everybody from about the 1950s or even, yeah, the 1950s on laugh hysterically. But you know what, you people? You need to take a seat. It's time to learn what real love is according to like just cold, hard scientific fact. If it was ever something of the truth that we can look into, well, it's love that can do it, and it's the only one that does, like in such a way that it sets the example that says, hey man, love is in the house. Love is here, and we take elevators all the way to the top. We don't live as a gaslight. We are the light that keeps shining until all of the lies and all of the things that are deceptive are removed, and what is left is God. And that is just being purely aware. I mean, how many fucking words do we have to talk to use really to get confused over? That's really what we're doing too, is breathtaking Babylon, along with all these other cosmic rays crisscrossing, and Kali Yuga, and the end of Pluto going into, you know, the end of Capricorn. It's so weighing right now. See, I happen to know what time it is. There's some people that are better off than others as far as handling the Pluto vibration, which is handling the truth vibrations. Yes. And what's going to happen with the Sun conjunct Pluto? Well, people are speculating, but the bottom line is it's truth time. It's truth time in such a way that it changes your life forever. It's a transformational guru, let alone the truth. It's going to make you get what? You know, it makes people living in deception get worse and worse, especially if they keep fighting against it. And now the breakdown of society, hello world out there, exactly what it is now, can happen if more and more people just side up with not doing the discipline that it takes to see the truth and acknowledge, yeah, maybe I'm a little bit off, and maybe my parents were off, and their parents were off, and maybe it's my responsibility to wipe them of the karma. of their karma, and also free myself by freeing myself of all these notions that any of this is mine and that we're doing any of it right and that we know what we're doing. I keep glimpsing it. See, I'm just looking at something. At the same time, you see something horrific about the whole setup and the way the system is, but it's because you see another way. You see a whole other. It's like the same as you see a flower that's perfectly symmetric, and then you see something else that is just like lost its symmetry and it's actually rotted, and you wouldn't know the difference unless what? Well, you put them two side by side, and then you go for the feeling, go for the smell, go for your senses. Hello. We are actually here to do that. Each and everybody is supposed to, so should be doing quality control. And yeah, it's individual. I mean, God, but how warped is everybody getting? According to what do we, and compared to what do we do quality control, right? More and more getting lost. What is the truth? So I'm making this on a really intense day. It's just intense days. It's the 15th. I thought it was the 13th. This is just moving straight forward. And technically, the conjunction with the Pluto and the Sun at 29 Capricorn, which is so auspicious if you ask me. I mean, Pluto could have went into any other sign. I mean, into Capricorn. Any other time when the Sun was in a completely other sign. But it happens to be that going to give the Sun is going to give Pluto a kiss, which means look at the truth here. And since it's at 29 Capricorn, just 2 days away from Pluto moving into Aquarius, and then Sun moves into Aquarius first. See, the thing that nobody's mentioning, and I overlooked it, and of course you overlook this. You overlooked Neptune. That's going to be squaring Venus exactly on that day of the 20th. It tells me that the feminine aspect of the organism is going to be agitating with gaslighting, with something that might well up that says, let's just say Neptune and its gaslighting ways can have its way with Venus, or Venus will just take it by the reins and say, we're going to gaslight, or it's this Neptunian water theme squaring aviation, possibly travel, say the enjoyment of. Keep your eye out for that when Venus does square um, Neptune. See, Venus is in Sagittarius and it rules geological formations, the geologics, and the ecology that is the human um, culturing that goes on, that develops books and stuff, and historical accounts. I said that weird. It's, with Sagittarius, we're going to say things weird. We're just into Capricorn. Mercury just went into Capricorn, and it's a double whammy for my generation. And whoever is Libra ruled or has prominent Libra early degree, it's just going to keep moving forward, where now Mercury is going to start a confrontation role or something. It's like it's going to be confrontation. It's not going to be so easy. Um, uh, I know that Mars in Capricorn is being plenty right now in its early degrees. It's being plenty constructive with whatever it has us doing energetically with our anger and stuff, and with our ambition. It's just finally moving out of the way of a lot of things in the sun, and and getting a lot done for us. We can, if you feel the drive, it's like, and for some people it means different things for a lot of people. You have to look. How does it aspect your Libra? Do you have that going on? Well, there's a Libra generation that is my generation that I keep repeating. It's around about 1970, or maybe a little bit in the 69, but more like 70 to 78, includes Uranus and Libra. That's the Libra generation. And it's just a whole critical mass of faction of people that are being put in a pressure cooker, for one, with the early degrees, let alone that it's been 14 years of stress with Pluto rewiring Capricorn over there, if anything, exposing all the skeletons and sweeping it out and just saying, you've got a lot of work, and now what are we going to do about it? See, that's what Pluto going into Aquarius is questioning. I'm starting to talk fast because I'm paranoid that this thing's going to stop in the middle of it. It's what happened before. And so anyway, thank you for listening to my videos and liking and subscribing. But the truth is, I might just one day just turn it all off and never appear until you'll see me just in a whole different place. I don't know. Or doing something with people that see, right now, with all of humanity, not just me, but I speak for the organism and it's forefronting in things and what we need to do. And it's really, if you haven't noticed, you might have lost a lot of connection, not just in the last 3 years, but let's look at the last 14, when Pluto was in Capricorn, testing everybody's ability to relate. And some people are still in a miserable situation. You can bet that they are fully immersed. And they kind of hold ground as being the norm, and it outnumbers. It's really, you can't convince the people that are trying to be healthy that that's not healthy. And it's like they're holding ground in a fucking warlock. Basically, they don't even know. It's like, well, now you're gaslighting that that you never found love, and actually what you found was a narcissist that made you fucking sick. Huh? A lot of people, they say, a lot of people don't make it out of this hellhole here, that it just seems like it's just full of people who are trapped here. And they are doing something that is absolutely, it's like it's rude. It's rude if you consider that the human organism and the whole potential, and say the human organism, the body, and this ground here that we're on is not their property. It's God's property. It's a creator of creations. If you obey a certain thing or disobey a certain thing, it's a matter of your quality of life, like, and how it is down here. Like, really, do you want to come down where everybody's getting sick and having no fun? I refuse to believe that that's really the way it's got to be. Like, some people just say life is unfair, and I say, you know what, you're not doing life right, because life wouldn't even be here if things were unfair, right? All of it, all of it. I'm talking about even the rotting corpse over there. It has a science about it that's like, can't beat that. It's organized its own intelligence there with boy, was that a fly flying out its nose? Excuse me, but that's just the truth of. Well, now you want to talk about Pluto and how it's like, okay, we're going to have a kind of a Halloween feel. That a lot of astrologers saying, oh, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. It's like, you just wait and see. The determination of some people that will thwart, and the way that it's pretty much on automatic to stop um, a better idea from getting through, or just exposure that maybe people are working things in a piss poor manner. See, the things it is to look at. I'll try to close this conversation up before it cuts out. Is if I can look at it also with my glasses. See, we are exhausted. I speak for all of humanity. There's just I can't believe people keep drudging away, but really they're doing it out of delirium, and they don't know how to just sit and fucking sit with shit, and they're going to be the last ones to snap the hardest. Some people are already prepared, and we know, we can't afford, like I said, not a breath of bullshit this year. Love is the answer, and who is here for us? Rearrange, see if you can be there for you enough that somebody says, hey, you know what? I think you're cool. I don't know. This fucking conversation, throw it out the door. I seem to have this conversation periodically on this thing every once in a while, and it's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic, right? Why do we count on people? Well, why can't we? Why can't we? This is getting excruciating for people my generation. Anybody who's an artist that brings people together, and, like, say, real musicians, say, like, comedies. Like, okay, so the fucking last God, this conversation. The last 3 years, what happened to us? We got spammed out. It got rearranged, and now what's real humor? We certainly can't tell the truth. And we can't play real music, right? Why? Because we're fucking starving. The people, the real like, intelligence, we're not getting involved with the rat race. We are fighting for our lives here. It's the truth. Because we will not stand down and drop the weapon of the heart that says, I don't want to do that rat race of the mind over there that thinks it's more real than a simple, clean glass of water. How about decent food to eat? What are we supposed to eat? Why do we eat what we do? And let's question our entertainment and why we do everything the way we do, and why do our people, even though they do all of that shit, no matter how much money they spend, I don't know if you notice, it's an empty fucking bubble of circus fucking Vargas trashy bullshit. Excuse me. I want to know where I can go. If it's a refuge and it takes money, then I might be willing to sell out, but I need to go to a real place where everybody is kind of like, say, okay, now you don't have to agitate with this, Shauna. You don't have to think that you're not being heard. Put on this robe, shave your head. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know, but I'm staying open for. I'm staying for open. See, I get the message, God, and I'm telling you the message right now. This is it for you. You're from my generation, and you think that you're feeling the weight and you think that it's just, it seems to be getting worse, but really, I'm here to tell you, wait. Wait a little longer. That's the process of life. And all of a sudden, you're going to wake up and opportunities are going to show up. You're going to feel a lot better. It's because things are just going to press through and finally tip over cosmically. And that's just the process we are in. You know, it's kind of like a kid, and I know very much this because I'm an Aries rising, and I get impatient, and I see something, and we are the first ones who see it, and we're like, well, move forward, let's just do it now, and like a kid, it's like, I want to do, it wants to be an adult, but it's like, no, you have to grow first and go through the process, and it's probably not even, it's probably totally underrated. Try to stay as a kid playing, and you'll be a lot more, um, setting a good example of how to live, and the playing thing makes you smarter. It makes you just fit the the call. You need it. Just stay lucidly in the natural state. Break that position that is so stiff. That's what playing is. Break the yoke, the position that's stiff. Gain liberation. Keep playing. Amen.